As we know, there are so many kinds of animals in this world. In the animal world, color is key. Sometimes, color may reveal an animal's sex, as with the bird kingdom, where male birds tend to be more colorful than females. Sometimes color can be a warning sign to stay away. And of course, many animals use their colors for protection. However, among them there are animals that have pigmented disorders and cause them to become albino. But instead of making them look weird, they look even more beautiful. So today, I'm going to tell you about the top 10 most beautiful albino animals in the world. 1. Alligator. These two albino alligators reside at the Alligator Bay Zoological Park in France, but the US has some, too. One of the most famous, named Claude, is a popular attraction at the California Academy of Sciences. Curiously, many albino alligators were found year after year in one particular nest in Louisiana. About 80% of alligator hatchlings don't make it to adulthood, and albino alligators especially don't survive long in the wild. 2. Raccoon. In 2015, an albino raccoon was captured in Valparaiso, Indiana, and brought to the Moraine Ridge Wildlife Center for treatment. Raccoons normally live only 2 or 3 years, and this one was at least that old, according to Stephanie Codlitz, the center's director. This was surprising, because albino raccoons often do not survive in the wild, as they lack the camouflage that protects them from predators, Codlitz said. They also may not be able to mate, because they can be rejected by their species. 3. Lobster. In 2021, a fishery in Boston caught an extremely rare albino lobster, which is impressive given that the odds of a lobster being albino are about 1 in 100 million. A few years earlier in 2014, 2 Maine fishermen each caught a so-called crystal lobster in the same week. These unique lobsters were lucky in another way, too. They were all spared the pot. 4. Rattlesnake. Albino rattlesnakes are at a great disadvantage. They're easily spotted by predators as well as prey. This means they aren't able to survive for long in the wild. They have white underbellies along with yellowish scales. Albino western diamondback rattlesnakes, for example, can be distinguished from their traditional counterparts by how their telltale diamond patterning appears in deep yellow tones. Normally, these aggressively defensive snakes have a chalky gray-brown to dull red coloring, featuring their namesake diamond pattern. 5. Snail. In 2011, a giant carnivorous albino snail was found in New Zealand. It was supposedly only the second one ever recorded. While albino snails may be kept as pets, their darker-colored comrades are the ones people prefer to eat. Like other albino species, albino snails are easy prey for birds and other predators. 6. Skunk. Imagine you're in your compound. Maybe the light is dim, and you spot what you think is a white-colored cat. You go over to pet the nice cat, only to be greeted by the most foul-smelling spray you can imagine. This is the danger of albino skunks. They lack the trademark coloring that lets other creatures know to stay away. In 2017, forests, fish and wildlife officers from the Canadian province of Prince Edward Island posted a nighttime photo of an albino skunk that they spotted jaunting about in the dark. This is the first one I personally have heard about, one department officer told reporters. 7. Gorilla. This is Snowflake, an albino gorilla that used to live in Spain's Barcelona Zoo. He was euthanized in 2003 after being diagnosed with a rare form of skin cancer, likely caused by his albinism. He was the world's only known white gorilla. In a scientific first, researchers sequenced his genome. Then, they made another more surprising discovery, that Snowflake was inbred. This find represents the first evidence of inbreeding in wild western lowland gorillas. 8. Deer. A whole herd of white deer lives at the Seneca Army Depot in New York. These white-tailed deer were trapped within the fence of the depot when it was built, and as the years went on, they bred and their population grew. However, these deer aren't true albinos because they still have pigment in their eyes. 9. Peacock. Like the Seneca white deer, this peacock is not albino, but does have a partial loss of pigment. This genetic condition makes it leucistic, which is more common than albinism, but still pretty rare. Animals with leucism can be all white, or partially white, but they all have pigment in their eyes. This sets them apart from true albinos. Peacocks use their elaborate and colorful feather train to attract mates, the surprisingly brown peahens. The females pick their suitors based on the length of the train, how many blue feather eyes it has, and the pattern symmetry. This peacock probably couldn't get a mate due to his mostly white feathers. 10. Dolphin. Swimming in the brackish Lake Calcasieu of Louisiana, Pinky the albino dolphin surprised onlookers with its abnormally pink skin. Pinky looks like just another fake internet animal or, perhaps, a tall tale from summer camp, but the dolphin has been living in the area for at least 8 years. Pinky gets its surprising pink skin from its albinism. Its cells don't make the melanin pigment that would give it a normal gray color, so just the color of the dolphin's blood vessels show through. Since albinism is genetic, Pinky's parents both had the recessive gene for it and passed them on to Pinky. Well, thanks for your attention about our video. That's all about the top 10 most beautiful albino animals. And if you liked this video, please leave your comment below.